how to reduce negative emotions and intensify positive emotions. Hi guys, welcome to the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can make your negative emotions less intense and make your positive emotions more intense, because we all want to feel happier, we all want to feel good. A lot of the driving forces in our lives are, especially when it comes to change and things we want to change, is we either want to change our behaviors or we want to change the way that we feel. So the first thing that I want to talk about is when it comes to changing your emotions and being more positive, you have to be intelligent about it. Okay, and what I mean by that is you don't want to see things worse than what they are. You want to be in a place where you see things exactly how they are or better than what they are. But you also don't want to be like saying things like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, you know, and I've got no problems in my life, I've got no problems in my life, when you know full well that you're not happy and there are loads of problems in your life, you know. Just pretending things are okay is not going to solve the problem. I think a great example of this is the meme of the dog who is like in a house that's on fire and he's just sort of like, this is fine. You know, that's a great example of this. You know, your house is on fire, get out, you know, do something about it, you know, put the flames up, do something. And essentially what this video is about is actually putting the flames out or escaping the house that is burning down. Okay, because when it comes to positivity, I feel like there's a bit of confusion. And the confusion is if you just have positive thoughts, things will go away. And that's not the case. You have to make a change in your life if you want things to change, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to go through some techniques on ways that you can make yourself feel a lot more positive. So the quickest way is this is kind of like a quick fix, you could say, and that is changing your posture, changing your actual physiology. So one of the things you can do, a very easy trick that probably everybody knows about, is to smile more. That tricks your brain, that it literally tricks your brain into thinking that you're happy. So that's a very quick fix that you can use to make you feel better in a moment. You can also, you know, have your shoulders back and standing up straight as well, pretending you're like a superhero, you know, pretending you could also pretend that you got a cape on or something to make you feel a little bit goofy, a little bit more funny, a little bit more lighthearted. And that can change your mood instantly if you do it with enough power and enough enthusiasm. Whoa. Frank has a lot of enthusiasm today. So that is a quick sort of fix that you can do. And if you do it consistently, it can change your life, essentially, if you do it consistently, of course. But usually, because we've got this thing called muscle memory, and if we're one of these types of people that are always slouching around, you're sort of always like not moving that much, then, or always have like a sad face, you know, if you have that muscle memory, then you're going to go back into those sort of like bad physical states. And the only way that you can change your body to be in a more positive stance and smiling more is to change that muscle memory. And what that takes is a lot of time and persistence and repetition until you condition your body to have the muscle memory to, you know, to always have your shoulders back and to be standing up straight and to be smiling. Especially if it's something that you've been doing consistently for a long time. You know, if you've been, you know, in these sort of like slouch positions for a long time, you can actually it changes your bone structure. You actually turn into a bit of a hunchback. So you have to be very careful and you have to be very aware of how you're using your body. Otherwise you could be a victim to your own sort of the way that you use your body, which isn't good. More of a longer solution is to change what we are focusing on. So changing your mindset, changing the way that you use this piece of grey matter in your skull. And basically what you focus on is tends to be what you attract, tends to be the things that you get. So what if you focus on every day, you know, like when you get up to go to work or get up to go to school, and you're focusing, oh, why do I have to get up? Why is life not working the way that I want it to work? You know, if you're constantly asking yourself those questions and focusing on those emotions, that's what you're going to get. So instead of focusing on the things that are going wrong in your life, why not just switch it up a bit and start focusing on the things that are going right? I mean, sure, perhaps your financial situation isn't where you want it to be, perhaps you're not in the relationship you want, perhaps you're not living the lifestyle that you ideally want, but you can always think of stuff that is going right in your life. And if you can't think of anything that is going right in your life, think of things that you could be happy about, that could be going right. And that will help you out. That just changing what you focus on. So focusing on things that you're actually grateful for rather than things that are making you feel bad and making you feel horrible. So getting back to kind of like asking questions to ourselves about like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to keep on doing this every day? Why is my life not working the way that I want it to be working out? These are questions that people tend to ask themselves, you know. So ask yourself more positive questions. I mean, even if you're not aware of it, you could be on autopilot and asking questions that are really, really negative. So some of these questions could be, why does my boss treat me the way that I do? Why is life so unfair? Why is society the way that it is? You know, but we can switch it up by asking new questions. So notice those questions you ask yourself and ask yourself more positive questions. Or perhaps you can just think about that question and think about, hang on a second, okay, so why does my boss treat me this way? But what else could it mean? Is there something going on in his life or her life that is making her treat me the way that she's treating me? You know, just putting a new perspective on it or asking yourself a new question. And you could end up actually having empathy for your boss when you figure out, oh, actually, if they're making me feel so miserable and going out of their way to make me feel so miserable, there's probably a lot of misery in their lives as well. And then you can have empathy for your boss, you know. Just asking yourself more questions can really reduce the situation and make it smaller. So like one question that you might ask yourself constantly is, why am I overweight? Why am I not fit? Why do I have such an ugly, flabby body? Your brain has to come up with an answer, so it'll probably say something to you like, because you eat too much, because you're just a pig or something, you know. But if you ask yourself a different question, like how about, how can I lose weight? Or an even better one, how can I lose weight and have fun in the process of losing weight? That's a really good question. So the last way that I want to talk to you about is something that I call picturing or visualization. The best way to do this, you can do it right now, is to picture a negative memory, a memory that makes you feel bad. So this could have been a time in your life where you was bullied, hurt in some way, or you felt embarrassed, something happened, you know, something like that. And when you think about it, imagine that you're actually watching it on a cinema screen. Okay, and what you do is, instead of making the picture big and bright, instead try and make it into a still image and making it grey, making it black and white, and even making the image smaller and smaller and smaller, as if it's like flying off into the distance until it disappears. We want to make sure that we intensify positive emotions. So think of a memory that you really, really enjoy, a memory that you love, a memory that makes you feel really, really happy and at peace. And imagine you're watching that on a cinema screen, and make the colours bright and beautiful, and also perhaps have some other senses involved, like what was you smelling at that time, what could you feel, reach out and touch it, what did the feeling, you know, the actual kinesthetic, is it kinesthetic? That what it actually feels like, you know. Perhaps even like what were you hearing at that time as well. So you're using all your senses, and all your senses are involved, and you're also picturing it big, bright and beautiful. And those are some ways that you can reduce negative emotions and intensify the more positive emotions. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you, and I shall talk to you again very soon.